Good morning, children. Today I am going to start the 10th class, right? Day 5. So, what you are seeing here, we are in the chapter called the Money and Credit. I hope that everyone has purchased all in one social science book and you are reading the question answers, MCQs, 1 mark question answers, 3 marks, 5 marks question answers from all in one social science book. Children, please read those books and give more importance to the questions who have appeared maximum times in the question paper, right? And read all the questions which have appeared from 2015 to 2020. Those are all the important question and answers, and maximally appearing question answers, mark the star, 3 stars, and read it again and again. Make yourself perfect and read all the question answers which are covered in the all-in-one social science book, and watch my videos regularly so that you understand whatever I am teaching. Don't stop it, don't give any reasons, right? Just continuously you have to watch the videos, then you will only understand economics. Do you understand? Let us move in the credit system. You saw that there is if you want, there is no person in the world who doesn't take credit. Every person, if we may be a poor person or the rich person, everyone is taking the credit. So money and credit both are important in our life. Without money you cannot live, without credit also you cannot live. Every man one or the other day he takes credit to run his life, to do festivals, for his son marriage, for educational loan, for some business. They are taking the credit. So let us see how there are two types of credit. One, you have to take it from the banks, and another one is from the money lenders. You saw the Sapna's problem. She had taken the credit from the money lenders. So what happened? She got herself involved in the debt trap of the money lenders. It became very difficult for her to repay the loan. Right, let us go further. In rural areas, the main demand for credit is for the crop production. So for crop production, what you want to have the credit, right? Crop production involves considerable costs on seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, water, electricity, repair of equipment, etc. So this is the thing. Crop production involves what? Considerable costs on seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, water, electricity, repair of equipment, etc. For crop production, there is lot of processes involved. One is you have to purchase the seeds. Second one, you have to purchase the fertilizers. Third one, you have to purchase the pesticides. And you have to pay the cost of electricity. You have to repair the equipments. So these are the things. There is a minimum stretch of 3 to 4 months between the time when the farmers buy these inputs and when they sell the crops. So there is a minimum stretch of how many time? Duration is 3 to 4 months. So when you sow the crop, tomorrow only you are not getting the fruit. So you have to wait for how much? 3 to 4 months. So when they take credit, right, they have to take credit initially for the purchasing of seeds and all, and they have to wait for 4 months in order to get the income, in order to repay their credit. Farmers usually take crop loans at the beginning of the season and repay the loan after harvest. Yes, I have already told you, at the beginning of the season they are taking the loans, and after the harvest only, after the harvesting season, Rashi madidmel they get all the crops that they are going to sell it in the market, and afterwards they are going to repay the loans. Repayment of the loan is crucially dependent on the income from farming. So repayment of the loan, how it is? It is crucially dependent on the income which they are getting from the farming. In Swapna's case, the failure of the crop made loan repayment impossible. So here you can see that in Swapna's case, what is happening? The failure of the crop happened. What it made? It made the loan repayment almost impossible, because the crop failed. Due to the crop failure, what happened? She was unable to repay the loan, right? she had to sell a part of land to repay the loan. See here, in order to free herself from the credit, what she has to do? She had to sell the part of the land. Not only she is selling the crops, but she is also selling the part of the land in order to fulfill her credit, in order to fulfill the loan amount. Credit, instead of helping Swapna improve her earnings, left her worse off. So Swapna, what happened? She was interested to improve her earnings. She had taken the loan, that thinking that there will be improvement in the standard of living of her, there will be improvement in her income. But what happened actually? What made it? It left her worse. Instead of having the improvement, she didn't find any improvement in her life. Instead, she got herself stuck in the debt trap. Credit in this case pushes the borrower into a situation from which the recovery is painful. Yes, the recovery has become very painful in her case, right? You are seeing it, no? In this situation, the recovery has become almost a big, what you can say, very painful situation for her. In one situation, credit helps to increase earnings and therefore the person is better off than before. So in one situation, the credit helped him increase the earnings. In another situation, what happens? It worsens the life of the people. Right? Credit pushes the person into a debt trap. Yes, this is happening here. What is credit doing? It is pushing the person into a debt trap where the person is suffering from taking loans. Right, to repay her loan, she has to sell a portion of land. See here, to repay her loan, what she is forced to do? She is forced to sell her part of the land. She is clearly much worse off than before. Yes, her before life was good, but after taking the credit, what happened? Her life became what? Worsened. It got stuck in the debt trap because she had taken loan not from the banks, but she has taken the loan from whom? From the money lenders, who charge very high rate of interest compared to the banks. Banks agricultural loan, they charge only 4% rate of interest. If you take from the money lenders, how much they charge? They charge 20%. Right, from 4%, 20%. What is the difference? 16% difference is there. So this is happening. Right, in this depends on the risks in the situation and whether there is some support in case of loss. Yes, this is a situation where she is having complete loss. There is no profit here. Every loan agreement specifies an interest rate which borrower must pay to lender along with the repayment of the principal. So here in the terms of credit, what we are seeing, along with the loan amount or principal amount, you have to pay some amount as the rate of interest also. In addition, lenders may demand collateral security against the loans. Collateral security, they are demanding what? Collateral security against the loans. So underline now here, what is a collateral? One more question. Collateral is an asset that the borrower owns, such as land, building, vehicle, livestock, deposits with banks, and uses this as a guarantee to the lender until the loan is repaid. So whenever you are taking the loan, they are keeping some of the assets such as land, building, vehicles, livestock, cattle, like that, livestock, deposits with banks, FD, I told you, fixed deposit of 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees, that they are going to keep at as a guarantee to the lender. You have to keep some guarantee to the lender until the loan is repaid. When you do the loan repayment, what they will do? They will give back those papers back to you. If the borrower fails to repay the loan, the lender has the right to sell the asset or collateral to obtain payment. Suppose you have kept your building, whatever the building you have constructed, your home papers with the bank, and you are unable to repay the loan. If you have taken 10 lakhs loan, 15 lakhs loan, and you are unable to repay that loan, that time what that bank will do? The bank will sell the house and it will repay the loan amount, principal plus interest. Now you understood how it is going to take the repayment of the loans. If the borrower fails to repay the loan, the lender has the right to sell the asset or collateral to obtain the payment. Properties such as land titles, deposits with banks, livestock are some common example of collateral used for borrowing. So what are the properties you keep in order to take the loan amount? What are the properties? You keep the building papers, you keep the vehicle papers, you keep the livestock papers, you keep the deposits, FD certificates with the borrowers in order to take the loans. Next one, a house loan. Megha has taken a loan of rupees 5 lakhs from the bank to purchase a house. The annual rate on the loan is 12% and the loan is to be repaid in 10 years in monthly installments. So here Megha is a woman. She wants to take a loan to purchase the house. She has taken a loan for how much? 5 lakh rupees, and how much rate of interest she has to pay? 12%. And what is the time period given for the repayment of loan? 10 years. So for 10 years time period she has to repay 5 lakh of rupees, and what is the rate of interest? 12% rate of interest. And how she has to repay it? In equal monthly installments. Megha had to submit to the bank documents showing her employment records and salary before the bank agreed to give her the loan. What she has to give? She has to give the bank deposits, documents regarding her employment records, where she is working, and her salary records before the bank to agreed to give her loan. Before agreement, what she has to show? She has to show the documents regarding her employment records and her salary. What is her salary? The bank retained as collateral the papers of the new house, which will be returned to Megha only when she pays the entire loan with interest. Yes, after 10 years when Megha will pay the loan, 5 lakh or rupees loan with 12% of interest, that time what is going to happen? They are going to give back her home papers, right? House papers back to her. Interest rate, collateral and documentation requirement and the mode of repayment together comprise what is called the terms of credit. Underline it, very important. What is terms of credit? Means what are the conditions to take the credit? It is the interest rate, collateral, documentation requirement and the mode of repayment. So there are 4 points. One is the interest rate, collateral, documentation requirement and mode of repayment. These are the 4 points important in order to together they comprise what? Terms of credit. The terms of credit vary substantially from one credit arrangement to another. So the terms of credit is varying substantially from one credit arrangement to another. They may vary depending on the nature of the lender and the borrower. So it is varying depending on the nature of the lender and the borrower. So let us see what is in the next section. They are going to discuss it. Let us see what is there. So here you can see variety of credit arrangements. So what are the variety of credit arrangements? Here there is an example of a village. Rohit and Ranjan had finished reading about the terms of credit in class, they were eager to know the various credit arrangements that existed in their area. Who were the people who provided credit and who were the borrowers, what were the terms of credit. Let us see. Shamal tells us that every season he needs loan for cultivation on his 1.5 acres of land. Till a few years back, he would borrow money from the village moneylender at an interest rate of 5% per month, 60% per annum. For the last few years, Shamal has been borrowing from an agricultural trader in the village at an interest rate of 3% per month. At the beginning of the cropping season, the trader supplies the farm inputs on credit, which is to be repaid when the crops are ready for harvest. Besides the interest charged to the loan, the trader also makes the farmers promise to sell the crop to him. This way, the trader can ensure that the money is repaid promptly. Also, since the crop prices are low after the harvest, the trader is able to make a profit from buying the crop at a low price from the farmers and then sell it later when the price has risen. So here you can see that this person has taken the loan, Shamal has taken the loan from the money lender. So what money lender is telling that he has to sell his crops. Not only he is giving the money for a high rate of interest, but he is telling that you have to sell the crops to him at a very lower price. He takes it and he sells that same crop when the price is high. So he is making double profit. He is making profit with the interest also. He is making profit with the when the price is high, he is selling it. So for example, he has purchased wheat for 8 rupees kg, and when the wheat rate is high, 30 rupees per kg, that time he is selling. So he is making double profit here. At 8 rupees he has purchased, and how much rate he is selling it? 30 rupees. So both the sides he is making the profit. So these are the situations you can see here. You can read this one, how the farmers have been exploited by the money lenders. Let us see now next one, loan from cooperatives. Yes, this is going to help them a lot. Besides banks, the major source of cheap credit in rural areas are the cooperative societies. Members of a cooperative pool their resources for cooperation in certain areas. There are several types of cooperatives possible, such as farmers cooperatives, weavers cooperatives, industrial workers cooperatives, etc. So here you can see there are several types of cooperatives are available. Farmers cooperatives, weavers cooperatives, weavers andre ನೇಕಾರಗಳ cooperatives, right, industrial workers cooperatives, all these are available. Cooperative sauhardas, they are available for whom? For the farmers, for the weavers, as well as for the industrial workers. So let us see. Krishak cooperative functions in a village not very far away from Sonpur. It has 2,300 farmers as the members. So in Sonpur, what we are seeing, there is a Krishak cooperative. And what it is having? It is having 2,300 farmers as its members. Remember it. In that cooperative, Krishak cooperative, doctor, engineer, they cannot become the member. Only farmers can become the members. It accepts deposits from its members. With these deposits as collateral, the cooperative has obtained a large loan from the bank. Yes. So what is happening here? The cooperatives, these cooperatives, they are accepting the deposits from whom? From the farmers, and they keep that as these deposits as the collaterals where in the bank, and they get the loans from the banks. These funds are used to provide loans to the members. Yes, whatever the deposits they have kept in the bank, that they are going to use it to provide loans to the members. Once these loans are repaid, another round of lending can take place. Yes, once you repay the loans, after you repay the loans only, you are able to take the another round of the loans. Krishak Cooperative provides loan for the purchase of agricultural implements, loans for cultivation and agricultural trade, fishery loans, loans for construction of houses, and a variety of other expenses in order to help the farmers. Right, in order to help the poor farmers from making suicide. You have seen, no, a lot of farmers, they are dying, they are committing suicides because they are unable to take the burden of the loan. For that, in order to help the farmers, in order to make the poor farmers rich, in order to increase their standard of living, these Krishak cooperatives, they are providing the loans in order to purchase what? Agricultural equipments, loans for cultivation, loans for agricultural trade, fishery loans, and loans for construction of their houses, a farmhouse they are constructing, and a variety of other expenses related to farming. They are able to now take the Krishak cooperative loans. Do you understand now? Next one, formal sector of credit in India. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ರೀ, ನೀವು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಇದರಿಂದ ಏನು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೈತರನ್ನ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ರೀ, ಅವ್ರ ರೊಕ್ಕನ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ? ಕೋಆಪ್ರೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ನಾಗ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೃಷಕ್ ಕೋಆಪ್ರೇಟಿವ್ನಾಗ. ಅವ್ರು ಕೃಷಕ್ ಕೋಆಪ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ರೀ, ಆ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ನಾಗ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ನಾಗ ಇಟ್ಟು ಆ ದುಡ್ಡಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಲೋನ್ ತೆಗಿಸಿ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ರೀ? ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರು ರೈತರ ಆ ಲೋನ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೋನನ್ನು ಅವರು ಪಡಿಬಹುದು. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗಳ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ಸರ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಟು ದ rate of interest of the money lenders. By that, what happens? The farmers can be saved from the debt trap. Do you understand it? Right. Next one, formal sector credit in India. Right, we have seen in the above examples that people obtain loans from the various sources. The various types of loans can be conveniently grouped as formal sector loans and informal sector loans. So there are two types of loans in India. One is from the formal sector and another one is from the informal sector loans. So these are very important 1 mark questions. Right, what is formal sector loan and another one is what is informal sector loan. So let us see now, among the former are the loans from banks and cooperatives. The informal lenders include money lenders, traders, employers, relatives, and friends. Underline it. Formal loans means they are the loan from the banks and cooperatives. Formal loan andre entry, they are the loans from the banks and the cooperatives. Informal loans means from the informal lenders includes money lenders, traders, employers, relatives, and friends. These come under the informal loans. In graph 1, you can see the various sources of credit to rural households in India. Is more credit from the formal sector or from the informal sector? Just you see this graph here. You can see relatives and friends, it is 8%. Money lenders 33%. Even though they are charging high rate of interest, people still 33% in India are taking from where? From the money lenders. 1% from landlords. Other institution agencies 5%. Commercial banks only 25%. Cooperative society banks only 25%. From government it is only 1%. Still see, so only people are, our farmers are involved. So only suicide and all things are happening in India because they are not taking the loan from the banks but they are taking loan from the money lenders. The Reserve Bank of India supervises the functioning of formal sources of loans. For instance, we have seen the banks maintain a minimum cash balance out of the deposits they receive. The RBI monitors the banks in actually maintaining cash balance. Similarly, the RBI sees that the banks give loans not just to profit-making businesses and traders, but also to small cultivators, small-scale industries, to small borrowers, etc. So loans, bank is not only for to make the profit. It is not a profit making agencies, but it is also an agency which is supporting. It is an institution which is supporting whom? To the small cultivators of land, to the small farmers, to the small scale industries. It is supporting small cultivators, small scale industries, for small borrowers. It is supporting. It is the banks are mainly helping them in order to increase their standard of living, in order to increase their income. For that, banks are helping them. The RBI, here you can see, periodically banks have to submit information to the RBI on how much they are lending to whom and what rate. So periodically means every 3 months, every 6 months they have to send RBI, Reserve Bank of India, every banks have to send the report to the RBI on how much they are lending, to whom and what rate of interest. All these things they have to submit to the RBI. So they cannot submit the false records, they have to submit the correct records, so they don't charge the high rate of interest to the farmers. There is no organization which supervises the credit activities of lenders in the informal sector. They can lend at whatever interest they need. So what happens here? To supervise the banks, you have the RBI as an authority. But if you are taking the loans from the money lenders, they are the boss. They fix the rate of interest. At whatever rate of interest in their mind comes, they are fixing. 20% ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ರೀ, 30% ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, 40% ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. According to their mind, they are fixing the rate of interest. But banks, it is not like that, because it is under the RBI. It is working under the RBI. Next one, let us go move here. Choose. There is no one to stop them from using unfair means to get their money back. Yes, there is no one to stop them. They are not stoppable by any persons. They can use any unfair means. They can use the rowdies, they can use the gundas to get back their loans. Compared to the formal lenders, most of the informal lenders charge a much higher rate of interest on loans. Thus, the cost of borrower of informal loans is much higher. Yes, very important. What happens here? The cost of borrowing is increasing. It is much higher compared to the formal cost of borrowing. Higher cost of borrowing means a larger part of the earnings of the borrowers is used to repay the loan. Hence the borrowers have less income left for themselves, as we saw for Shamal in Sonpur. So what is happening here? The higher cost of borrowing is there. Even though the earnings of the borrower is used to repay the loans, what happens here? The borrowers have very less income left for themselves, right? They have to pay more and more amount on the interest. Whatever the incomes comes, they have to pay more and more on the interest. So higher cost of borrowing is there. In certain cases, the high interest rate for borrowing can mean that the amount to be repaid is greater than the income of the borrower. Yes, here it is happening. The income of the borrower is very less, but the amount which they have to repay is more. So this is the problem which is happening. The amount at which they have to repay is more and the amount of borrowing is very less. This could lead to increasing the debt. What happens because of this? The debt is increasing. The loan amount is increasing. And they are involved in themselves in the debt trap. They become the victims of the debt trap. Also, people who might wish to start an enterprise by borrowing may not do so because of the high cost of borrowing. So, people who might wish to start an enterprise by borrowing may not do so. So, when you tell to your parents, I want to do business, nobody encourages you. Yes, I will give you 2 lakh rupees, you start the business. Any father or mother is telling that? No, not at all. They are all telling you to become doctors, engineer. No father tells, become the businessman. Become an industrialist. I am there for you. I will support you. Any father tells it? No, not at all. Nobody will tell you. Because they are all afraid. Business, when you talk about business, when you talk about industries, when you tell to your father, I want to start a small scale industry, he will give a big slap on your face. Because he tells that yes, you are going to have, definitely you are going to do the loss, you are going to put all the loan on your head and you are going to come back. So for these reasons, what happens? People are not encouraged in India to start the business or to start the industries. As Modi is telling, Atmanirbhar project, you have to start your own industries. You have to start some small scale business. You have to do small scale industries. You have to start small scale industries. You have to do small businesses. You have to take small loans and start doing small business. Atmanirbhar project, do something on your own. But what is happening? Indians are ready for that, still not. The mindset is not ready to do those things. But nowadays it is necessary. Instead of waiting for the companies, instead of waiting for the organizations to give the jobs, now it is the time to start up India, stand up India and work for those plans. To have our own things, to have our own job, to create the job opportunities for others also. In that way, we have to start working. For these reasons, banks and cooperative societies need to lend more. So what happens? They have to lend more. Right, this would lead to higher incomes and many people could then borrow cheaply for a variety of needs. They could grow crops, do business, set up small scale industries, etc. So what is happening? For these reasons, what is happening? Banks need to give the loans. For whom? For banks and cooperative societies need to give loans for the small scale industries, for variety of products. Right, a variety of needs for growing crops, to start small scale industries. ಈಗ ಹೆಂಗಾಗೈತ್ರಿ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಾಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಮರ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರು ಚೈನಾ ಐಟಮ್ ಐತಿ, ಒಂದು ಕಸಬರಿಗೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರು ಚೈನಾ ಐಟಮ್ ಐತಿ. ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಈಗ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇನ್ರಿ? ಐತಿ. ಬಟ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿಲ್ಲ? ಯಾಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ತಾವ? ಯಾಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ? ಮೊದಲು ಮರ ಕಸಬರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಈಗ ಏನಾಗೈತೆ ರೀ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೈನೀಸ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್, ಚೈನೀಸ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಮೇಲೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಅವರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್, ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿನ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್ ಅಪ್. Now it's a time to start up India. Now we have to decide that we will purchase Indian goods and services, and everyone should start small factories, not going for a big factory. Start from a very small factory. Start making matchbox. Is it a difficult job? Very small thing. Start doing that. Start making files. Start manufacturing books. Right? For that you need very less machinery, less cost, and start doing all those things in order to make yourself. What? Yourself you can create the jobs. You can also create the jobs for others also. So only banks and cooperative societies are motivating the people to involve themselves in the small scale industries, to borrow the money and do very good scientific farming, increase the income of your farm, like that. Cheap and affordable credit is crucial for the country's development. Yes, cheap and affordable credit. Government is giving very cheap and affordable credit, but it is banks are going to have the loss and cooperative societies also may come under the loss, but still the country is doing it in order to encourage the farmers to do the farming, in order to encourage the youths to start their own businesses in India. Formal and informal credit, who gets what? You can see the graph 2 here. Poor households, how much they are getting? 85%. Households with few assets 53%, here 47%. Well-off households 72%, 28%. Rich households 90%, 10%. Here you can see how much percentage of loan they are taking. Poor households, they are taking only 15% of them are taking loans from the banks and cooperative societies. Households with few assets 53%, 47%. You can see percent of loans from the informal sector. It is in blue color. You can see it is only how much? 47%. Purple color, percent of loans from the formal sector, it is 53%. So 47% are taking households with few assets, 47% takes from the formal sector, 53% takes from the informal sector. In poor households, 85% are taking from the informal sector, only 15% are taking from the formal sectors. Here also 72%, well-off households, 72% people they take from the formal sector, 28% they take from the informal sector. Here 90% of the rich households, 90% they take from the formal sectors, 10% they are taking from the informal sector. So when you take, the rich households are availing cheap credit from informal lenders, whereas the poor households have to pay a large amount for borrowing. So this is happening in India. Poor households, they are taking, most of them, 85% people are taking from where? From the informal sector. Only 15% are taking from the formal sector, whereas rich households, you can see 90% they are taking from the formal sector and only 10% they are taking from the informal sector. Right, next one. Most loans from informal lenders carry a very high rate of interest and do little to increase the income of the borrowers. So this is happening here. They do little to the increase the income of the borrowers. When they take from the informal lenders, do you think their income will increase? Because they are paying very high rate of interest, their income will not at all increase. But if you take it from the formal sector, definitely your income is going to increase because you are paying very less rate of interest. Thus, it is necessary that banks and cooperative increase their lending, particularly in the rural areas. In the rural areas, the cooperative societies, the banks need to increase their lending process, right, so that the dependence of informal sources of credit reduce. Yes, now we can see that Vikasa, Karnataka Vikasa Gramina Bank is there. In every village we are seeing the banks, we are seeing the cooperative banks. Adav ilri ನಿಮ್ಮ ಊರಾಗ ಹಳ್ಳಾಗದು ಈಗ cooperative banks ಅದಾವ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿಕಾಸ ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗಳು ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ತಾವ. Why they are establishing them? In order to encourage the farmers to take the loans from which sector? Formal sector, not from informal sector. Secondly, while the formal sector loans need to expand, it is also necessary to expand. It is also necessary that everyone receives these loans. Yes, very important. In order to increase the formal sector, what you have to do? It is necessary that every farmer takes the loan from where? From the formal sector only. Then only the loans also gets increased in the formal sector. At present, it is the richer households who receive formal credit, whereas the poor have to depend on the informal sources. At present, who are taking the loans? It is only the poor households. They are still taking the loan from the informal sector. Only the rich households are taking the loans from the formal sectors. Then who should increase now? Poor sector also should increase in number in taking the loans from the formal sector. It is important that the formal credit is distributed more equally so that the poor can be benefited from the cheaper loans. Yes, if you take the if the loans are taken from the formal sector, even the poor can be benefited. If they take more and more loans, then definitely the poor sector will also get benefited by taking these loans. Okay, now you understood. Now from where you have to take the loans now? You have to take the loans from where? From the banks and the cooperative banks, cooperative societies. You should not take loans from the money lenders. If you take the loans from the money lenders, what happens? You will yourself get trapped by whom? By the debt. Because in the formal sector, in the banks, cooperative societies, they charge very less rate of interest compared to what? Compared to the money lenders. They charge very high rate of interest. You will get yourself involved in the debt trap. It will be very difficult for you to come out from this. As a result, your standard of living will not increase. Your income will not increase. Your children will not get proper education and health care facilities. For that, what happens? India remains as a poor country. India remains as a backward country. India remains as a developing country only. If you want to make India a developed country, what you have to start? You have to start taking loans from where? From the formal sector, from the banks and the cooperatives. Okay, children, thank you.